been your experience as to why people vote, and more importantly, why they don't vote?
Well, from my experience and my perspective, people vote because they are able to relate to either a candidate or an issue that is appearing on the ballot. And so when there is that personal appeal, when there's a personal connection, either that they feel to that candidate or to a ballot measure, then they turn out and vote and participate. People don't vote in elections because there is no draw or no appeal, either to a candidate or to a ballot measure. Additionally, I think people also don't vote because there's no invitation from candidates or other organizations personally appealing to them and giving them reasons to go out and vote.
You touched on something that I've been hearing from people, though, that they don't feel strongly about an issue or they don't know about the issue. But I've heard, and I'm sure you've heard all these other things. It's too hard to vote. I don't know the issues. All politicians are the same and my vote doesn't count. What are your best arguments against that type of thinking?
Well, certainly about not having enough information about voting. That is something that I can personally do something about. As City Clerk for the City of Long Beach, and I'm responsible for administering local elections here in the city. And one of the things that I can do is make sure that the information that we're providing about the election is easily accessible by the public. So one of the things that we do to make sure that that happens is we mail an official sample ballot to all registered voters in the city. In addition to that, we make sure that there's several different options that how people can cast their ballot on either election day or through the mail, or cast their ballot early before election day. And then we also make sure that we do enough outreach to the community to make sure that they are reminded about the upcoming election day. So information is important, and accessibility to information is part of that. But the other arguments are harder to get a hold on, especially being in a position in government where we can make sure that the information is available, but we can't make people vote. So, you know, you can, as the saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So that, to me, is a little bit harder for actually getting people to get inside the polling place and cast their ballot. But what I can do is make sure that the information is accessible. Well, studies have shown that the way that you get people to participate in democracy is by making sure that they get engaged at a young age. And so getting people involved in voting begins when they're in school. So one of the things that we're doing in the City Clerk's office is partnering up with the local schools to do student mock elections. So these students aren't yet eligible to vote in regular elections because they're not 18 years old, but we're working together to make sure that they begin the habits of voting and participating early. So what we can do as a community is make sure that we're focusing on training our young people to be involved in democracy, to be involved in their neighborhoods. And media can support us by making sure that those efforts don't go unnoticed.
Surveys that we've done with people is the idea of making voting election day a national holiday, or in one case, suggestions made, you know, doing it on weekends so that it's making it much more easier for people to vote. How do you feel about proposals like that?
Well, studies have shown that people enjoy having options for voting. So expanding those options is one alternative to try and get people to participate more. And right now, a voter doesn't necessarily have to come out on election day to exercise their right to vote. They can vote early here in Long Beach, starting 10 days before the election. They can also vote by mail. We send out vote by mail ballots as well in advance of election day. Voting on weekends and as a holiday is another alternative. However, there's no real concrete evidence or examples out there that we can turn to that will indicate that our population would respond to those changes. Residents in the city of Long Beach voting in local elections will first receive their information via mail from the city clerk's office, and it will include an official sample ballot, as well as if they applied to vote by mail, their vote by mail ballot. The period to apply to vote by mail, if a voter is interested in becoming a vote by mail voter, they can apply online or call our office directly and do so. For this particular election, voters wanting to vote by mail can do so between March 14th and April 5th. So anybody who wants to cast their ballot from the convenience of their home or on their way to work or at work, they can do that. And then additionally, for voters who are voting by mail, they can drop off their ballot early here at the city clerk's office. They can mail it, obviously, or if they would like to vote in person early, because let's say on election day they're going to be out of town, they can also come in person to the city clerk's office and vote early. That began March 14th and will run through election day. So there's several options for people to get involved, and certainly we want to make sure that voting becomes a convenient thing for people to do so that more people participate. So I'm really excited about some of the things that Long Beach has been able to do for its voters regarding polling place location. So one of the ways that we inform voters about where to report to on election day is through the official sample ballot, and that's printed right in the back of the ballot, and it'll list the address, location, and room where voting is to take place. But additionally, we also have a search tool on our website where if a voter types in their address, not only does the polling place location come up, but their official sample ballot comes up as well. And it comes up in 5 different languages. So if the voter wants to read their official sample ballot in a language other than English, they can do so. And additionally, we also have a Vote LB app. So anybody with a smartphone that has an Apple or Android device can download our application. And that application, we also have a polling place locator. So you can type in your address, and not only will your polling place pop up, but also your official sample ballot. So you can find out where you're voting anywhere in the city, any time of day between now and election day.